from NBC News. This is Today with Kathy Lee Gifford and Hoda Kotb, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
It's no secret a favorite pastime among us women. Is it us women or we women?
I think it's us.
All right.
Among us.
Well, we like to talk. We meet for coffee to talk. We head on out to our daily walk to talk. And if we have time in our busy day, we even call each other to talk.
Yes, we do. But are there certain topics that should be off limits? And can it be damaging to a relationship to share TMI? Too much information too soon. Here with some answers are Robbie Ludwig, a psychotherapist, and Susan Swimmer, More Magazine's features editors.
Ladies.
Hi, ladies.
Good to see you both. We found ourselves actually in a situation like this. Hoda and I have been friends now for 3 years, and we have a lot of fun together, but we've never, ever talked as openly as we did last week.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And how did you know that was too much information or just a different level of your friendship?
I didn't really know it until afterwards.
I didn't notice until after
did we
either.
really talk about that?
Oh.
But you know what? That's a part of friendship. After years, you develop a deeper understanding of each other, so you were maybe ready to go there.
I don't know. I've had friends that I've had for many
same.
more years than Hoda, and I've never shared this information.
Yeah.
Are we going to get a preview? I mean,
No.
Oh, no.
Here's the thing.
Too bad.
Sometimes when you share, let's say you have a fight with your husband and you say to your girlfriend, oh my God, this happened. And some girlfriends are good at diffusing it, making it smaller.
Yes, right.
Some of them
Ratchet up.
So by the time you're done with that conversation, you want to wring his neck. Before you were sort of upset, and by the time it's over.
Right.
Yeah,
An
she
instigator.
threw fire on the coals.
Yeah, does that happen often when you're sharing
Well,
details?
it can, especially if you don't know who you're sharing with, and that's why you want to test it a bit. If you don't,
A bit, I would think, for a
You
long
wanna test it a
time.
lot.
Because
Really
you're
quick.
only, I mean, you're it's as discreet as your most.
I say
What's
it all
the
the
word?
time. You're as discreet as your most indiscreet friend.
Right.
So you
That's
put
what I
it
meant.
out there, and you then lose control of where that's going. I mean, I think you really need to know who you're talking to.
or
and
how
make
it's used against you.
Of course. I mean, look, I also think there's kind of a little problem with numbers. Sharing one-on-one is safer for me than sharing in a group. You
Yeah.
get the henfest mentality, and women tend to really get each other, and it gets going. But look, I always say we live in this overly exposed society now. Everybody's on Facebook. Your status update is not your therapy session. I say it all the time.
And I think the problem is sometimes it can feel very cathartic to share everything, and it's after the fact where you feel embarrassed or it feels awkward to
didn't feel
face the
embarrassed
person.
at all.
But you guys have a relationship,
We don't give a
and
rip.
there's a difference between sharing more information in a relationship, becoming more intimate, even as friends, and some stranger that you don't know sharing information that they don't really care about.
Yeah, well, sometimes you do feel safer with the stranger, though, don't
If
you?
you
On
don't
the
have to
airplane,
face them.
They don't judge you.
You'll
Right, you don't
share
have to
stuff.
face them again.
Right,
That's
you
right.
think.
That's right.
But
But
now
that's
they
why-
can find you.
Right.
That's
and
the
it can
trouble with
destroy
this world.
relationships,
But
too.
listen, friends can really give you that emotional support that you need. So I'm not here to say, ooh, careful what you share. I mean, I think that's the point of it. I mean, God, we met each other, we started sharing immediately. And sometimes you feel that warmth with someone, but you have to really, your antenna has to be up.
Well, some women, and we talked about this before too, are very comfortable sharing like sexual stories with friends. They do.
That came from Sex in the City. I think it was the first time we'd seen 4 women sitting around
Just
saying the
openly
most
talking
intimate
about
things that they.
Do you guys think that's a no-no, or do you think that's okay, or does it depend?
I think it depends, but you have to understand if you're sharing information like sexual information or medical information, financial information, the other person may be judging you negatively. If you don't know the other person and how they process information or what they feel comfortable with, you really are making yourself vulnerable.
I also think at different life stages, oversharing is treated differently. So I think when you're in your 20s or younger and you had a night of debauchery and you share it with everybody, okay.
Because everybody did at that point.
And you're
Except
young.
for my daughter.
Okay, but when you're married, I think sharing that stuff about your husband is different.
Yeah.
I think it's a different
Oh,
line.
that's a betrayal of trust with your
I
husband.
agree.
Yeah.
There should be boundaries.
You're sharing his secrets too.
Right.
It's one thing to
Right.
share your own, it's another thing to share
and you
his
need
as
to
well.
protect your relationship.
Well, I know
so.
people who share something that seems very intimate with multiple people, and I always find that surprising because they'll share something with me, and I think, oh my God, it's so heartfelt. And the next person you go, they go, oh my God, she told me the same
I
thing.
drank the Kool-Aid.
And
right?
you're thinking to yourself, I mean, some people can share with everybody.
Some
It
people
seems.
just don't edit,
Yeah.
and that's just their personality, and that's their charm, so to
But
speak.
don't you think that they need to do that to get through
Why?
it? It's helpful to
They
them.
need to feel recognized,
But does it
heard.
help? The more you talk about something,
Important.
the more you talk about it. Is it really cathartic, or does it make it bigger? Like
It depends.
I think for some people it's cathartic. cathartic to go through it, and they don't feel that they're telling too much. For other
people, it reinforces their victimhood and maybe gets them more into a black hole. But it's highly variable.
You know what they've always said way back was, if you can count on one hand the friends you really have, you're a blessed person.
That's true.
I think too often we confuse what a friend is with an acquaintance that we happen to enjoy.
Yeah.
You really don't have at the end of the day that many friends.
And you need to ask yourself, why am I rushed to share this information? What's the hurry?
Usually it's about being accepted by that person.
But now more than ever,
elevated in their mind.
I'm going to friend you. Is that a friend?
No. That's just a Facebook
It's not.
thing.
Yeah.
That's not
I don't know about you, but I have like over 3,000 friends, so whatever.
Now
Very
you just
intimate,
I have Photo Woman and a few more, and they know who they are. All right.
Thanks, ladies. Thanks.
Up next, it's Webtastic, the video you're going to be telling.